Welcome to the channel where we will dive into an inevitable showdown between the two greatest beings from the Marvel and DC universes, Thanos and Anti-Monitor. This is not just a battle between two powerful entities, but a clash between ambition and the ultimate force of destruction. Thanos, the embodiment of death in the Marvel universe, is a strategic genius with boundless ambition. With the power of the Infinity Gauntlet, he collected all 6 Infinity Stones: soul, mind, power, time, space, and reality, each holding absolute power. When worn, the Gauntlet elevates Thanos beyond the strength of the cosmic cube, turning him into a god in the truest sense. No longer just the mad titan, Thanos becomes the embodiment of limitless power, a being no longer bound by any laws of the universe. In this battle, life and death, reality and nothingness are at stake. But before we delve deeper into this debate, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, which helps us out a lot. Thank you, and make sure to turn on notifications by clicking the bell icon. Thanos has reached a level of power few can match, able to create life from nothingness and turn abstract ideas into living reality. During a fierce attack on Asgard, now ravaged and in ruins, Thanos emerged as the absolute ruler. With a simple snap of his fingers, he could crush entire planets, freeze the flow of time, and easily tear apart Captain America's legendary shield. Not stopping there, even in the depths of hell, Thanos defeated Mephisto without hesitation. His resilience challenged the order of great beings like Lord Chaos and Master Order, and he withstood devastating blasts from abstract entities such as Galactus and Death of Mist. But he didn't stop there. Thanos continued to defeat Galactus, Eon, and even Kronos, entities that seemed insurmountable. He ruled his people with a brutal mix of violence and fear, wielding unmatched strength and near-immortal regenerative abilities. Thanos was the embodiment of invulnerability, immune to poisons, diseases, and even telepathic attacks. His telepathic prowess made Thanos one of the most dangerous foes the universe had ever witnessed. Even the mightiest beings had to bow before the absolute power of the Infinity Gauntlet. With just a snap of his fingers, Thanos could wipe out over half of the universe's life. But even that great power must face a force from the antimatter universe, where the Anti-Monitor reigns with cruelty and unquenchable ambition. Anti-Monitor is responsible not only for the infamous crisis on Infinite Earths, but is also the sole protector of his kind. When his power became the central core of the Black Lantern, Anti-Monitor became the source of terror. With immense size and unparalleled strength, he brought devastation to the minds of those who dared confront him. Anti-Monitor is a living nightmare, an entity whose threat level to existence is so dire that the Justice League and other DC heroes must unite against him. As Anti-Monitor spreads death everywhere, surpassing any threat the DC heroes have ever faced, his strength and durability become an inevitable nightmare. He easily shrugs off Superman's powerful punches, crushes swarms of superheroes, and even stands toe-to-toe with the Spectre, the embodiment of divine vengeance. Anti-Monitor not only fights the Guardians of the Universe, but also withstands explosions capable of wiping out entire galaxies. Spectre, who serves God with infinite power and is the second strongest being after the Presence, must join forces with the heroes to stand against Anti-Monitor, a threat no one could have foreseen. Like a bloodthirsty predator, Anti-Monitor grows stronger by absorbing universes, crushing everything in his path. Meanwhile, on the Marvel side, Thanos, once the terrifying threat with the Infinity Gauntlet, declared himself the supreme being of the universe. But against the might of Anti-Monitor, Thanos' terror begins to pale. This conflict between ultimate entities will shake the universe with every terrifying moment. Thanos, one of the most dangerous villains in the Marvel universe, reaches the pinnacle of power with the Infinity Gauntlet in his hands. With the power of all 6 Infinity Stones, Thanos confidently declares himself the supreme being, an all-powerful entity capable of controlling every aspect of the universe. But when faced with DC's Anti-Monitor, a being who not only devours planets like Galactus but consumes entire universes, Thanos realizes this battle will exceed any limit he's ever encountered. Anti-Monitor, the nemesis from the Crisis on Infinite Earths event, is the embodiment of absolute destruction. He surpasses the boundaries of parallel universes and shatters all order, causing even powerful beings like the Spectre to tremble. We look at the true power of the Infinity Gauntlet, which grants Thanos control over the 6 fundamental aspects of the universe: power, mind, space-time, soul, and reality. Only Thanos' imagination limits the Gauntlet's boundless power. But as Anti-Monitor begins to unravel the multiverse, even Spectre, with his enhanced powers, struggles to resist. Thanos is not alone. He has the Black Order, a group of alien destroyers whom he considers his children: Ebony Maw, Proxima Midnight, Corvus Glaive, Black Dwarf, and Supergiant. Together, they seek and destroy entire planets, but against the brutal strength of Anti-Monitor, all must face inevitable destruction. Thanos once claimed that with the Infinity Gauntlet in his possession, absolute power was no longer just an abstract concept but a living reality. This gauntlet transforms its bearer into an almost omnipotent being, transcending all limits. But even as Thanos declared himself a god, this power came with a price, and it wasn't entirely invincible. While in pursuit of Mistress Death, the lover he was obsessed with, Thanos realized that the power of the Cosmic Cube, one of Marvel's most powerful weapons, paled in comparison to the strength of the Infinity Gauntlet. And with the gauntlet in his hand, Thanos not only bent reality but could also create life from nothing, defeat Kronos, and merge with the universe as a supreme being. However, what made Thanos truly terrifying was his ability to erase half the universe's life with just a snap of his fingers, shaking space-time and bending everything to his will. He could enter the minds of others through the Mind Stone, control living souls, and even turn his most fearsome enemies into mere puppets. Drax, who once harbored deep hatred for Thanos, was completely manipulated and redirected his fury towards Silver Surfer. Even powerful beings like Lord Chaos and Master Order tried to resist Thanos by distorting reality, but they were easily swept aside. Kronos, who attempted to kill Thanos by dragging him through time, also fell victim to this immense power. And in battles against the most powerful beings in the universe, such as Galactus, Aeon, and the one above all, Thanos remained undefeated. All the strength that the heroes could muster became meaningless in the overwhelming presence of Thanos. They were subdued and imprisoned in an inescapable prison, except for one lone survivor. With unyielding determination, he faced eternity, and his battle wasn't just against eternity's watchful eye, but a war that spanned millions of years, where he balanced the chaos across universes. When Anti-Monitor returned to the antimatter universe and reclaimed his position, a fierce battle erupted. A legion of Earth's heroes tried to prevent disaster, but Anti-Monitor had already destroyed countless universes, leaving only 5 remaining. It was in this moment that his final steps were taken to confront his enemies, and the decisive battle ensued. But despite annihilating countless universes, Anti-Monitor did not stop and continued consuming the remaining ones. The clash between Anti-Monitor and Darkseid became a storm of destruction, so intense that even the Justice League could only stand helplessly by. Subscribe to our channel, it helps us out a lot, and you'll get to enjoy awesome videos every day. You're the best, thank you so much. What truly happens when such a multiversal being appears if antimatter is seen as the core of the multiverse? This makes the Infinity Gauntlet seem small and limited, merely a part of a larger multiverse, or at best, a simple universe. DC has crafted a complex universe with layers and multidimensional intricacies. So what does it really mean to have anti-surveillance, multiverse-level entities? Is this truly a new tier, a distinct beginning? This cannot be directly compared to Marvel's multiverse, where Roy closed the possibilities, which could be seen as a partial reversal of power. Imagine if a remaining Infinity Gauntlet knew how to wield its strength. Would that connection lead to multiversal dominance or merely universal control? No one can definitively say that this Infinity Gauntlet is multiversal. Maggie once used a fake gem to deceive and neutralize absolute power, while on Earth 616, Loki used the gauntlet as a tool to end all of reality, surpassing even the cosmic cube with which Dennis had once merged with the universe. Millions of years later, Thanos chose a herald named Cosmic Ghost Rider, a former spirit of vengeance from Earth. This herald's journey was full of hardship and pain, ultimately leading to his enslavement. Though Thanos held the gauntlet, the multiverse no longer mattered, as his true power lay not only in the weapon he possessed, but in his boundless ambition. His battles with the mightiest forces, like the multiversal or Eternity itself, caused every foe to tremble in fear. Eternity, a multiversal entity of immense power, once warned that all paths ultimately led to him. The revelation of Infinity terrified even the strongest of souls, but despite this, Rick Jones, with the help of Val Gymnast Val Entropy, once again harnessed the power to recreate the universe from the ashes. Thanos' most memorable endeavor in conquering the universe was his hunt for the Infinity Stones. In his pursuit of the stones, he was turned to stone by the Avengers, Spider-Man, and Adam Warlock, but was later resurrected by Mistress Death. Not long after, he collected all 6 Infinity Stones: soul, power, time, reality, space, and mind from the In-Betweener and other elders of the universe. Far beyond Thanos, Anti-Monitor, an incredibly powerful entity controlling the antimatter universe, emerged as an evil counterpart to his brother Monitor. During the crisis on Infinite Earths, Anti-Monitor nearly succeeded in destroying the entire positive matter multiverse, causing billions of lives to be lost in the process. In his frenzy of destruction, he plunged into darkness, battling Lord Doom with the Infinity Gauntlet. But before this clash exploded, Thanos absorbed the entire Phoenix Force into himself, despite it being a multiversal entity, terrifying all his enemies. Black Panther stood firm against Doom, whom he easily attacked and injured. T'Challa not only defended himself excellently, but also demonstrated resilience far beyond what Cyclops had ever achieved. Next, the unrelenting confrontation between heroes and Thanos grew more intense, but they all fell under his hand, including great beings like Galactus and Eternity. Thanos' invincibility seemed endless until his granddaughter Nebula snatched the Infinity Gauntlet from him, stripping him of his terrifying power. Adam Warlock, with his wisdom and intelligence, recruited Thanos to help defeat Nebula, and after realizing he was unworthy of such power, Thanos aided Warlock in defeating her. Together, they cleverly manipulated her into restoring the universe to its original state and regained the gauntlet from her. Though both Thanos and Nebula possessed immeasurable power and ruthless ambitions, they were still driven by a desire to dominate worlds and instill fear in Earth's heroes. Meanwhile, even Superman, after basking in a giant blue super sun or spending months within Earth's sun, could accumulate enough power to destroy hundreds of universes, but what could he do when facing the strength of such beings? The Infinity Stones, which granted Thanos great power, were not enough to stop the incursion of the universes orchestrated by the Makers. Even with the power of these stones, Thanos could still be defeated. His physical and mental strength was not insurmountable, unlike the Anti-Monitor and other forces. The Infinity Stones, while mighty, could still be neutralized if Thanos didn't grant himself enough power to defend against the threats he faced. This might cause significant psychological damage to him, and although Thanos cannot truly die, he can at least be removed from reality. Even the Infinity Gauntlet does not guarantee eternal immortality. Meanwhile, the Anti-Monitor is continuously attacked by far stronger forces, such as the combined might of the Lantern Corps, gradually weakening him. Aware of this threat, Adam Warlock dismantles the Gauntlet and entrusts Thanos, who now has a clearer understanding of his power, with the task of protecting the Reality Gem, making him a member of the Infinity Watch. Thanos, now with new responsibilities, redeems himself by safeguarding the gems against Magus, an evil version of Adam Warlock, who creates doppelgangers based on powerful beings like the Mad Titan himself. Death offers Thanos a chance to kill Warlock, but to her surprise, Thanos refuses and chooses to fight against Magus, who is ultimately absorbed into the Soul Gem by Adam. After being killed by Drax the Destroyer, who is born with the sole purpose of defeating him, Thanos is once again resurrected by death. Drax was created from the soul of a human named Arthur Douglas, who was given a new, powerful body by Kronos and Thanos' father, Mentor. Thanos' return not only marks another milestone in his numerous resurrections, but also signals the arrival of a new army he calls the Zodiac, 12 individuals equipped with powerful suits provided by him. While Thanos' strength is undeniable, in this context, his battle becomes leverage for the Anti-Monitor. It seems that Thanos finally gains Death's recognition when he allies with Annihilus, providing him with not only armies and teleportation technology, but also Galactus. However, when Thanos discovers Annihilus' plan to destroy all life in both the positive and negative material universes, he realizes an even greater threat is at hand. In a last-ditch effort, Thanos attempts to free Galactus to stop this insane plan, but once again, fate turns against Thanos as Drax unexpectedly appears, tearing out his heart and killing him on the spot. Thanos' tragic end is not merely another failure, as despite all his power, he cannot escape the cruel grip of destiny, forever drawn into the maelstrom of greater, stronger, and more merciless forces. When Thanos rises once more, the Avengers take immediate action based on a prophecy from Ulysses, an inhuman with the ability to foresee the future. They ambush the Titan, but the battle does not go as expected. War Machine sacrifices himself, and She-Hulk suffers severe injuries. The loss of his close friend drives Iron Man into deep sorrow. Tony Stark becomes determined to stop anyone from exploiting Ulysses' powers, believing that relying on prophecies will only lead to more tragedy. This decision puts him in conflict with Captain Marvel, who believes Ulysses' power can save millions of lives by preventing disasters before they happen. Meanwhile, in another corner of the universe, the Anti-Monitor's armor designed to absorb yellow sun radiation becomes the ultimate weapon in the war between the Sinestro Corps and the Green Lantern Corps. The Anti-Monitor contacts Cyborg Superman to check on New Warworld's status, preparing for the next step in his plan. The tyrant coldly declares that he will soon abandon Quord, and when the time comes, Henshaw will no longer be of any use and will be ruthlessly eliminated. Tensions between Iron Man and Captain Marvel continue to escalate as they fail to reach a consensus. Iron Man, obsessed with protecting those he loves, is willing to sacrifice everything to ensure the future is not manipulated. Captain Marvel, firmly believing in Ulysses' power, refuses to ignore the opportunity to save the world. Meanwhile, across the universe, the fierce battle between supernatural forces continues to rage, with the fate of billions of lives at stake, threatened by the mightiest and most ruthless beings. The Anti-Monitor reaches the peak of his power, becoming the strongest incarnation of himself to date. In this form, he has absorbed the entirety of the multiverse, making him exponentially more powerful than ever before. Having destroyed most of the universes, leaving only 5 intact, the Anti-Monitor demonstrates his unmatched power. His greatest feat is his battle with Spectre, who had been augmented by powerful sorcerers like Dr. Fate. Even though Spectre was enhanced to his maximum capacity, the Anti-Monitor was able to hold his own in a battle of equal strength. And with this special armor, the Anti-Monitor accumulates energy from every positive material universe he has destroyed via his antimatter waves. This makes him nearly invincible to Earth's heroes. His immense durability and destructive capabilities surpass all limits. Meanwhile, even though Thanos is extremely powerful, he primarily focuses on the Marvel Universe and has never demonstrated destruction on a universal scale like the Anti-Monitor. Thanos has faced many heroes and cosmic entities in the Marvel Universe, but his power pales in comparison to the Anti-Monitor, who has defeated even the mightiest beings like Monitor. Compared to the Anti-Monitor, Thanos seems overshadowed. The Anti-Monitor's ability to threaten the entire multiverse proves he surpasses Thanos not only in raw power, but also in his ability to completely annihilate everything within his reach. The Anti-Monitor is not just a conqueror, but the ultimate nightmare of every universe, a being so terrifying that even the greatest heroes tremble at his existence. The Anti-Monitor wields an overwhelming source of power, a dire threat to anyone who dares oppose him. However, there have been moments when he has been severely wounded by Earth's heroes. Supergirl and Flash, through their courage and strength, succeeded in delaying him, making the situation more critical than ever. The Anti-Monitor seems impossible to fully defeat. One great figure, Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet in hand, proved that he was not just a mighty being but also a shrewd strategist. He realized that perhaps only he had the power to permanently defeat the Anti-Monitor. This was not just a battle for victory but a fight for survival, where Thanos had to use all his strength and intellect to restore balance to the universe. Though Thanos was up against a seemingly unbeatable foe, his determination and strategic mind opened up an opportunity. This battle was not just a clash of brute force between two titans with the Infinity Gauntlet in hand. Thanos had a chance to turn the tide and prove that even the mightiest forces could be subdued by his power and wisdom. What do you think? I know you'll have thoughts and feelings on this. Thank you all for watching. That's today's video. We'd love to hear your feedback. We hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll stop here for now. Thank you all so much.